boom the link, bro?
Yeah, I sent them the link. To make sure we live on the YouTube. Okay. There we go. Good evening, good morning, good day, good afternoon. All depends on where you're located. Back here with another one. Myself, Ty in the middle, and to your far right with the Jets hat on. Needs no introduction. The man himself, Cletus. What's going on, fellas?
Another day in paradise, living the dream. Like somebody, like my boys like to tell me at work, "Hey, how you doing? Living the dream." I'm like, "Shit, this shit's a dream. I like to see a nightmare." But
right,
I'm here, brother.
Yeah, man. A lot of football, man. We're in the fourth quarter. What I like to call it. This episode is called the fourth quarter. We just lost Cletus, our guest. I don't know what happened. But we're in the fourth quarter of the season. I figured. With that being said, Ty, I know you just had a tough loss. Our guest is back. There you go. Our guest is back. But Cletus, let's go with you, man. Fourth quarter of the season. Let me recap for the AFC for weeks 12 to 16, which you've seen so far. You being second in the division behind Candyman, with a possible chance to be in first if he happens to lose this week or next week. What are your thoughts?
I mean, right now, the way it looks like Candy's going to hold on to that 1 seed. I think Candy's going to hold 1. I'm going to hold 2. You're going to put holding 3. And then probably Pie at number 4 as far as the lock.
Okay. What about the 2 wild card spots? What are you thinking?
Wild cards? What do you call it? First wild card would be Chiefs. Second one, Don Joe.
Yeah, man, I want to give Don Joe props, man. I have that Dolphins team in the UG League, and that team is terrible, man. But I spoke on it. He's a run first guy, and that team actually, with him getting Larry Rose, actually helps him, and he actually plays he's doing a hell of a job with that team. I think that team's worse than the Giants. But it kind of helped, fixing his simple but effective team. So hats off to Don Joe for that. Give me a breakdown of where you see the playoffs. If those teams are the lock, give me your thoughts on the playoffs and how you look going into the playoffs and things of that nature. Matches up who you might want to see round 2.
I mean, honestly, like right now, I don't want to see anybody with my current roster situation.
But that's not, but you got the number 2 slot, so you made it that way.
I feel you. So like for me, I think the matchups, like I think you're probably going to get over on Don, which means I'm going to play you in the divisional round. And what do you call? I think the Chiefs and Chargers get a rematch.
If that happens, who you think pulls? I think Candyman gets his revenge.
I think Candyman's going to pull away. I think he wants all what the Chiefs like to do, and knowing Candy, playing Candy when he was in the East, like I think he would adjust and play to his strength.
Okay. Tyler, let me hear your thoughts, man. The AFC, Cletus gave his predictions. I mean, based on his records, he's a data analytic guy. Those look like to be the teams of the playoffs. How you see the playoffs of the AFC side panning out? Or just let me know the matchups you'd like to see going into the playoffs. Some good games, 6 solid good owners.
Well, I actually liked and agreed kind of pretty much with everything Cletus said. I think he was on point with the way it's going to break down and shake down, and I think he's right, man. I want to go back to something you said. I've been talking to Don Joe lately, and phenomenal job of the Dolphins. Is that your Dolphins is much worse. Just because all of the trade and roster updates that have taken effect Like you don't have Larry Tunsil, you don't have Kenny Stills, and you're missing somebody else where he has them. But what a phenomenal job by him to be viable. And I'm gonna give Cletus credit. Like Cletus is a 74 rated team too. Like the Jets, they're not. It looks like they have more talent than they do, but when you get down to brass taxes, they're not super talented. So for Cletus and Don Joe to do the job they did, great job to them. Great job to you, Gates, because you started out in the hole. You looked a little shaky, and you look rock solid down the stretch. Candy has helped serve the entire time. Lincoln, the Chiefs, has helped serve the entire time. I don't see a long playoff run for Paya. The Browns are hot.
He turned it around. He's
just really inconsistent and doesn't seem to have his mojo going. I think he's right for the picking. Everybody knows.
He did turn it around somehow. He figured out a way to win.
He did and he didn't. Like, he's not playing his necessary type of ball. Like, I know he just took a loss. He just lost to Drew, the Cards, in a high-powered shootout, 45-42. So I think there's some things he doesn't quite have figured out yet. Everybody else seems to be hot going into the playoffs. He seems to kind of be trying to figure out his stride. So I kind of like what Cletus had to say.
Yeah. Now speaking of Pi's division, what did that say about the other three teams? Like with him being not in sync, not in rhythm, and yet he still figured out a way to win that division. Go ahead, please. You gonna say something?
I was going to say it just shows that everybody else in the AFC North, they need to step their game up. Like right now, Pi is not in a position to lock down the North like he was, last season, as Green Bay. Pretty much every year it was Pi's division to lose. Yeah. Right now, like, if Rowe can, if Rowe can get his pass game going, Rowe could take that division. And then what do you call Bill? Just play Bill tonight. And, Bill still sends that, chaos. But the only thing is, like, sometimes I feel as if, like, his play calling becomes predictable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what holds him back. And then Prime, I don't know much about Prime because it's hit or miss whether or not he's playing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I watched the up to the third quarter of you and the Bill game, and it was like 10-17, and it was a drive that he had, and I watched the whole drive, and I watched you consistently hit stick him all the way up the field, and when he got to right inside the 5, you hit him and he fumbled, and I'm just thinking like, damn, Bill, like. You see the man's trying to knock the ball out your hand. When do you like turn it to conservative, or when do you hold R1? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was personally rooting for him because I wanted the number 2 spot. So I was like, come on, Bill, you got a chance, man. Like, damn it, man. He fumbled, and I was just like, on to the Giants game. I just turned it off. I don't even know what the final was. Once I seen that, I was like, and I seen it late in the game where his play call was predictable, where he kept doing like the fake fake handoff play action. He was just swallowing up. Even when he tried to run it, he was just swallowing it up. And I was like, Bill, you got to switch it up, man. Like, or he's already adjusted to that. You know what I'm saying? He's already countered that. You have to figure out something else. And like I said, once I seen it, I was like, I got to turn it off because he's still doing the organized chaos. So hopefully he can get it together next season. He listens to the show and takes our constructive criticism and moves forward with it. Ty, anything on that?
Nah, man. I think you guys covered it pretty well.
Yeah. Now let's jump to your side of the ball, the NFC. We have the Falcons, the Bucks, and then those are like the really 2 teams who are like in lock, right? Everybody else is in the mix.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there. Remember that old Dr. Dre, Eminem, shady? Nowadays, everybody forgot about Dre. The 49ers,
yeah.
Are the second seed at 11-3.
There you go.
And we ain't done one owner's box where they've been mentioned. And I know Dre's going to hate me for this because he likes flying under the radar. But lo and behold, we at the end of the Madden season, and Dre's right there. And it's funny because you can't discredit that man's expertise and his experience. And that man is always there. He doesn't jump in the chat a lot. He doesn't say a lot to pump himself up. 49ers don't have the greatest roster, and here he is at 11-3. And I think when it's all said and done, Dre's gonna let some people know that he's still Dre.
Yeah, he also
Everybody talking about that man or checking for him. So I'm just saying, don't forget about Dre.
Yeah, I didn't look at this records, but now remember I told you that's his division until somebody dethrones him. So for me,
some interesting things, right?
He also got the first concede too of the season.
Falcons are the 1 seed. 49ers are the 2. Buccaneers are the 3. I think a lot of people are starting to get hip to the Buccaneers game because a lot of people didn't know at first. That man's 11-3. He doesn't have the greatest roster. Most devastating hit stick in the league. You got Tick in the 4-hole, and Tick's come on real strong. Him and Boone played a hell of a game the other day, and Tick's offense is rocking and rolling. And Tick's added some things to the arsenal defensively. And I think Tick's going to have a lot to say in this. And the 4 seed, 5 is the Rams, John the Bullet. He's been a little inconsistent. He's still 9-5, so that's nothing to sneeze at. But I don't know that he's necessarily hit his stride yet. But the man's put up 517 points of offense, so you're going to have to deal with that, man. And then in the 6 hole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lo and behold, guess who's in the 6 hole?
The Bears?
You damn right. Mr. Boone. And I was talking to Boone the other day on the phone, and he had said something in the chat that he thought he should have been coach of the year. And at first, when you hear it, you would think, oh, man, nah, man, no way. Like, look at all these great records. I actually believe Boone. That man started out 0-4, 1-5. And that man is 8-6 and positioned himself in the playoffs after that massive hole he was in. And I can't tell you how I'm impressed I am with that. Now, that being said, Niji's still nipping at his heels. The line's at 8-6. And Truck with the win over me puts himself at 8-6-1. That tie's not doing him any favors. But
if he wins the division, he gets in though, right?
Well, he's definitely getting in. He's definitely getting in.
Keep in mind, 1 seed's Falcons, 2 seeds 49ers, 3 seeds Green Bay.
Yep.
4 seed is yeah. And then Bucks and Rams are in the wild cards.
And you're right. And Boone needs a little bit of help, but he's kind of right there.
Now Tick's going on vacation, right?
So that's kind of up in the air. Okay. See, because that's a monster game because he plays the Lions, Niji, 8-6 against him at 9-5. And he was saying he might be going to the Poconos Friday, but he kind of wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play or not play. But that game has huge implications. I will say this. I think it's pretty good to see because normally the first season it's kind of crazy. And there was some crazy things, but it's good to see a lot of the regulars. And it's good to see that there's going to be good matchups all across the board in both conferences. And it's definitely, I think this is going to be one of the better season ones. Normally season 1, shit happens that's so weird you kind of write it off and discredit it. But this season 1, hey man, there's a lot of people that's made a case to let it be known that they're still them and they're still playing at a high caliber. It's going to be a really good, entertaining season 1 playoff to watch for sure.
You know who I'm worried about in the NFC when it comes to the playoffs? And you might shock you guys, it's the Falcons, right? And the reason I say that is because he's been winning the games, but the losses that he has are some ones against like the 49ers and the Bucks, right? 2 teams who are going to be in the playoffs. And he didn't just lose, he lost bad. Like he conceded against the 49ers. You know what I'm saying? Like Dre texted me, y'all got the first concede of the season. So it's like, yo, you've been doing great in the regular season. What Falcons are we going to get here in the postseason? Are we going to get the Devontae Freeman? Or are we going to get this new Trent Cannon version? You know, he was doing a custom playbook. Now he's like, yo, I got to go back to my regular playbook. Like, it's too late in the season to be trying to figure that out now.
I think it's fair for you to say everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I love what Rico did for the most part, but you're right. Like, this is the wrong time of the season to have injuries going back to what Cletus said, and it's also the wrong time of the season to be trying to tweak what you're doing or finding yourself.
Yeah.
That definitely doesn't bode well going into it. The only thing that's kind of good in his favor is if he finishes up at the 1 seed, potentially in that 6 hole, he's looking at, well, it depends on the matchup too, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. Definitely not the best way to go into the playoffs.
Yeah. So I think like he would have to figure it out where if Dre is the number 2 seed, Dre would then play the Rams, right? He would play the Bucks.
Yeah.
He would play the Bucks, right? Or the Rams.
I think the Rams, because he's gonna play a wild card as
Yeah.
the 2. Well, keep in mind he would have the bye in the first week.
Yeah. So who's 3? Cleveland's 3?
Low seed.
Yeah.
3-3's Green Bay.
So it would be Green Bay versus
Tampa.
Tampa. And then
Or not. It would be Green Bay against the Rams and Tampa against the Redskins.
that's a tough game for the Redskins, boy. I mean, Geis is playing very well. Ty, it was some plays, man. I swore you had him tackled. He was breaking them things. I don't know, and we'll see. I played the Bucks this week, so we'll talk about that too. Y'all game of the week thoughts. So, I mean, I think, like you said, man, it's gonna be some good matchups this playoffs. Very competitive. I'm looking forward to it. Cletus, you're looking very well. I see that you're getting Isabella into the mix here. Robbie Anderson's catching post patterns on 3 people. It's looking impressive. I see what you're doing over there. You know what I'm saying?
Trying.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm trying.
Yeah,
Injuries hurt.
Yeah, for sure. Don Joe's been, what's funny about Don Joe, man, is he has like the best passing defense in the league, man. Like,
yes, that's why I commented. Me and him was talking about like the team's not being too good, and I said, dude, but your secondary, ain't no joke. Eric Berry and Minka Fitzpatrick manning the safety spots. Xavier Howard, who you can argue, even in the real NFL, could be possibly maybe the best cornerback in the NFL. And then you sprinkle Don Joe's user in there, and that's a lethal. It's not super easy to throw on that dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even on the NFC side, man, we got like all the NFC. All 6 of them teams, man, have great running backs, man. Like, the Falcons have Freeman. He should be back, right? He should be back for the playoffs. We have 49ers. He has 3 running backs. Well, 2 of them.
I know his horse is Breeder. He loves
Breeder. He's a monster, right? Then we also have Guy said with the Redskins. Green Bay, I mean, he's throwing a lot. He's throwing a lot of passes. But he can still run the ball. Then we have Bucks. It doesn't matter who the Bucks seem to have. They're all getting 200 yards. You know what I'm saying? And
you know what I hate? And there's a few in the league. Bucks does this. Vikings does this. My NFC East nemesis, Mo, does this. And I know he's watching the show because I see him comment. They have this one play, all 3 of them, and it is a bitch to stop. Trunk has it too. He did it tonight. I want to say it's a dive. And they run almost to the point of the line, and then they sharply cut to the left.
Yeah.
And they have the timing down on that play so cold that it's hard because the defenders get sucked in, even if you have them spread out, even if you're playing them to go to that left, because they come so close to the line before they cut left, they suck everybody in, and it puts them in a like. Normally they have a receiver, somebody out there chipping on the block on the far left, and then they got a one-on-one scenario with their running back against your user. And it's hard because in this Madden, one juke, one shake one way, that's 50 yards, brother.
Yeah.
And that run, it's simple. It shouldn't do what it's doing, but it's a mother to stop, man.
Yeah. And Cletus, is Le'Veon Bell hurt for the season? Is he done?
Yep.
That's
Yep.
interesting.
He's out for 7 weeks.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like I said,
Who's running a rock for you right now?
Mike Weber.
Some guy named Weber. He's been
Played for OSU.
What's up with Elijah McGuire?
I don't know, man. Like when I was practicing with McGuire and practicing with Weber just felt, more natural.
Yeah.
So in your game against Bill, how did you feel he performed?
I mean, considering I didn't give him the ball much, I mean, he did pretty good. He had 6 rushes for a total of 57 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 9.5 yards to carry.
I will say this, and I told it to Gates before we went on the air. I don't discredit dudes like Saquon Barkley or Le'Veon Bell because they're X factors and superstars for a reason. But I'm laughing at Mo. My number one place is '08. I hate that damn play, Mo. I wish I could cripple the shit out of your running back. I hate 1-3-1. I hate that I know you're going to run that dive and then break to the left. I hate that no matter how I spread the line and how far I put dudes out there, they still get sucked into that vortex. Good shit, though. But going back to my point, I feel it's easier to take a guy that's maybe a no-name running back and shock the world with him than it is to do a no-name quarterback. Like me and Gates was talking about this, right? Like Don Joe can take Larry Rose, who has no business being a monster because he's so lowly rated. But Don Joe knows how to follow his blocks, set up blocks, and knows how to run the ball. So he can take a no-name dude and make him somebody. But if you have Daniel Jones or you have Josh Rosen, you can't make them somebody because no matter what you do, if they can't hit a 5-yard pass to the flats, they can't hit it. If they can't hit an in route, they can't hit it. If they can't throw a deep ball, they can't. So it's tough because you can take a no-name running back and still do damage, but you can't do it if you're pass first like myself. You just gotta suck wind. You can't. There's no way to speed up that curve. So I guess the point I'm trying to make with you, Cletus, is you're a good runner of the football. You know how to run behind your blocks. You know how to set up running plays. You know how to pass to set up the run. So even though definitely, don't get me wrong, Weber's definitely not Le'Veon, I still think if you can do enough to be effective with Weber.
I could agree with that. But one thing that I do gotta say though is it is a big difference, what do you call running the ball with the guy that's the X factor versus running the ball with the guy that's, just average Joe.
Well, and I will say this, you are right, because I'm telling you right now, if Melvin Gordon got injured, half of Candy's yards come to screeching halt. Because from the games I've watched, in addition to Melvin Gordon just being a beast, one of his X factors triggers better blocking on that O-line, which if you got Joe Smith running the rock, he ain't triggering that shit. And now all of a sudden a basic stretch that can get bottled up for 3 yards, is with Melvin Gordon, it's going 20 yards. With Joe Smith, it's -1.
Yeah.
So I do get you on that too.
So do you think that in the playoffs, if we stack the box on him, does he still perform?
Yes.
What, Candy?
Weber or Melvin Gordon?
Just Candy in general.
If he's got Melvin Gordon, I don't think it matters. I think if he's in the X factor, you can stack the box all day long. Melvin Gordon, first of all, he's got jukebox, so the dude's like a jitterbug, like zip zip. But aside from that, his X factors trigger better blocking of the line. So your stacking of the line doesn't necessarily negate that them dudes all got a massive boost in their blocking when he's running. If he's in the X factor.
Sure.
It's like me.
I'm telling you right now, if you're playing Candy, you almost for surely have to do, like a zone blitz, a man blitz, some sort of type of blitz to get that pressure in.
Yeah. I mean,
you almost gotta, but it plays it in his hands. But if I was playing Candy, I'm playing for the run every down. He's going to have to beat me passing. And it doesn't mean he can't pass. It just means I just can't let Melvin Gordon get that orange X under him for 3 quarters.
Yeah, I agree.
You ain't overcoming that.
I agree. Speaking of the guy who you put up for Coach of the Year, We got him joining here. We got Boone for the Bears joining in. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
Oh man, nothing much, brother. How you, man?
It's a crazy race, man. In the NFC, man. Let me hear your thoughts, man. Is there a way for you to get in the playoffs?
Yeah, there's a way. I got to win out, and then if if the Rams lose one, then I can probably get the wild card because I hold the tiebreaker over him because I beat the Rams. But that's pretty much my only shot unless everybody in my division pretty much lose out and I win out. Then I can get the division, which
is impossible because
I don't see that happening. Yeah, I don't see that happening.
Because they play each other, right? A couple people play each other in the division, right?
Lions and Packers, Tick and Nidji, I think his name is. They play week 17. So that yeah. So if the Lions win out, he gets the division because he will have the better division record. Even if I were to win out, he has the better division record.
Okay. Who do you have this week?
I got the Chiefs, man.
Boy, that's gonna be a hell of a game. Boy, I can't wait. Tomorrow would have watched that one.
I got the Chiefs. I got the what they calling them? Legion of Zoom. Is that what they calling them out there?
Yeah.
Just speed on top of speed. So yeah, I know I got my hands full, but I'm confident. I'm confident I can make it a good game.
I did it. It's possible. I did it. It's possible.
Yeah, I know he has a safe, but it's a very effective scheme I've seen.
Yeah.
You know, he knows when to take his shots. He making good reads. He got Hill, which 97 speed, which is basically, you know, just hope he don't get over top of you type of thing.
Yeah. Who's the second loss to? He has 2 losses. Who's the second loss to?
I was wondering that because it was recent. It was like a year ago.
Oh, he lost to Strong. Strong put it on in that game too.
Yeah, he did.
He put it on him. Like Strong dropped like 40 points on him. Like 40 to 15, 40 to 20. So he really wasn't even close.
Hey man, I said this multiples of weeks ago, especially when he made that trade with the Rams for Marcus Peters. As good as I said Don Joe's secondary is, that might be the only secondary better than Don Joe's. That shit ain't no joke right there. Both of the McCourty boys, Stephon Gilmore, who I think might be the highest rated cornerback, and you add Marcus Peters to that mix, that dude can literally sit and play man all game long and lock your shit up. Yeah. Especially because he likes to send a blitz behind that.
Sure. And they all got good press as well. So
that's what I'm saying. Right.
He
presses you, you're not getting separation off of him, and you're just screwed a handcuff. And even routine routes that you beat, man, like outs and shit like that, they don't get enough separation. And next thing you know, jumping over the top for a pick.
I put 478 up on him.
Yeah, but you got to think, like for that to be effective, for you to be effective, look at the receivers you got.
Yeah,
you got receivers that can get off the line.
Also,
get off that press. You got Hop. Hop ain't getting press on the line.
If you look at the game as well, like it went to overtime. Like it wasn't like you won, convincingly. Like not taking anything away from you, but like it came down to the wire.
Number 12 don't miss no throws, man. He don't miss throws. You know what I'm saying? He don't really miss no throws. You know what I'm saying? Is what the man was throwing it. He was throwing shit up, and they was just catching it. I'm like, what can I do? You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, so while we on that topic, a little round robin. Remember when I used to do this last year, Gates?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the 4 most devastating players, X factor wise. Well, 5. My top 5 dudes with X factors that just totally changed the game that I play to experience. It doesn't mean other people won't have them. DeMarcus Lawrence from Dallas. The dude's got 34.5 sacks.
35. Daddy League said.
That's just insane. DeMarcus Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers, Because when Tick gets that man in the X Factor, that's a problem. Tom Brady, because when Sean gets him in the X Factor, that's a problem. Melvin Gordon, that's a problem. And there was one damn more I seen that I'm like, oh my God, like how do you even like damn it. Brady, Rodgers, Gordon, Lawrence. I seen one other person in X Factor, and it was just a problem. And I was like, I only got those 4. What about you guys? What X Factors have you played against or watched game of the way you like, man, that's just a problem right there?
Like you said, I'll go first. DeMarcus Lawrence, like you said, for sure. I seen Melvin Gordon do his thing. It was one game somebody had him basically bottled up, and he juked like 4 people and kept going and just scored. I was like, yo, man,
yeah, that was against me.
Yeah, boom, that was you, right? Because I was like, I told you.
Yeah, he broke 8 tackles in the line of scrimmage and then scampered down the sideline for a touchdown.
Yeah.
What do you do? Like what else you can do?
Yeah, it was like, that's crazy. Brady for sure. I haven't played against Aaron Rodgers. I think Mahomes, because he throws it so far. He already has like a crazy powerful arm, but then when the Chiefs streaks Tyreek Hill and he throws it even further, 15 more yards, because he has that bazooka thing. It's like you gotta hope he just overthrows him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like hopefully the timing is off, because that's tough to beat. And then and Mike Evans, man. Like Mike Evans don't drop him back.
Yeah.
Mike Evans is a problem, man. Like
Rico had some mojo. Rico had it going too with Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman early in the season in the X Factors.
Yeah. But yeah, Mike Evans, man, that can't be impressed. And him just aggressive catching everything once he's hot is like, that's a tough combo right there, in my opinion.
Boom.
For me, I've gone against Melvin Gordon. So when we played that whole fourth quarter, he was in the zone. You know, to get him out of the zone, he got to get a negative play, and he wasn't going backwards. So that whole fourth quarter, he was in the zone. Aaron Rodgers for sure. To put Aaron Rodgers in perspective, when me and Tick played that very last drive, going into that drive, he had 7 completions. He started that game-winning drive when he was down by a touchdown. He started that drive off in the red, in the zone, after having such a porous game. When it came down for him to get that game, like, he was in the red, like he was in the zone. And then Devontae Adams, he's not an X factor, but Ty, we was talking about, man, how did he keep on that ball? He has he has a trait. So look at his trait. Devontae Adams have a trait where in the red zone, his possession catches go up so that he has a higher chance of catching contested balls. That's why he caught that ball, because he was in the red zone and it was a contested catch. So those 2 for sure. DeMarcus Lawrence, I doubled him all game against Moondog, and he still got 3 sacks on me.
That's crazy.
Those only really X factors I played. Now Zeke, with his arm bar when utilized correctly, is a beast. With his running style and the arm bar, Todd Gurley is pretty much unstoppable.
Yeah,
it don't matter whether he's in the zone or not. He's just unstoppable.
I seen your brother comment Aaron Donald and Todd Gurley, and I'm like, luckily I haven't played either one of them, because I can't even imagine what like an X Factor.
He would know firsthand. That's he didn't play them guys twice, so he knows. Yeah. He knows for sure.
Cletus, what have you seen?
I mean, Tom Brady, obviously, like, probably has one of, like, in my personal opinion, the best X factors with all the pro reads. Like who wouldn't love addtional hot routes, to throw to, Marcus Gilchrist, like, dude sticks to the wide receiver, and especially the way, like, Strong plays, that whole like man press, blitzing, like you ain't getting anything off unless you're motioning players or calling plays with the motion in it. What do you call Lawrence from Dallas? He's a monster. Like he is always in your face. And what do you call? I talked with Moondog. What do you call it? After a game one time, and dude just told me there's something about that wide nickel that just does it for Lawrence.
Because he's by himself. He's one-on-one with a tackle.
They loop off those wide formations. Like going back to the whole block shed, like that's why I ran a lot of wide formations last year, and I had so many sacks because it changes the direction of the blitz. So like if you were in a standard 3-4 or 4-3 and they're blitzing straight down, when you're running a 4-3 wide or nickel wide 9 and you spread them out, that downward trajectory changes to a circular arrow, and your average tackle isn't fast enough or strong enough to contain them on that speed rush coming around that edge, and it's lethal. That dude's got 35 sacks.
He's not doing nothing extra for that. He's not doing nothing extra. He's just running regular plays.
So devastating because you're right. He's not manipulating that dude. That dude is just
he's just a monster.
Yeah.
And then low key, even though nobody mentioned this guy, Myles Garrett, like when I played Paya, like all game I had heat in my face. And like Garrett's just as aggressive, in my personal opinion, as Lawrence. It's just that, again, I don't think Paya's spent enough time on the game to essentially get his game right.
You know what honorable mentions I would have, and he's not having a good year, and I have them in UG, but I'm really curious to see what Calais Campbell and Jalen Ramsey in the X Factor bring to the table.
I'm gonna tell you. I've said it before. You stay away from cornerbacks with the stars underneath them. They play different. They're not regular guys. They are super aggressive. You know what I'm saying? They are super aggressive. The cool thing, the thing that I think sets Ramsey apart is that he hits hard. Like not only can he cover and he's just as fast, but when you catch the ball, he lights you up. You know what I'm saying? Him and that free safety back there. Like I stay away from him. I stay away from Kyle Fuller from the Bears. You stay away from him.
Hey man, hey, Boone taught me firsthand. Hey, listen, last year I ain't gonna lie, Madden 19, I abused Kyle Fuller. He didn't put no fear in my heart. I laugh with Boone a lot, and I'm gonna tell you right now, Kyle Fuller's a different beast with that superstar damn underneath him, man. Like I respect that man.
You stay away from them guys. You stay away from them guys, man. They are super aggressive, man.
Hey, I like what Drew said, Boone's brother, because I haven't really had to face this dude too. But he's like Bobby Wagner tracks anybody with the ball.
Luke Kuechly, same thing. You know what I'm saying? He's a problem. He's everywhere. Luke is everywhere on the field. You know what I'm saying? He's like
and that's true. There's some X factors I have.
Yeah, he be forcing fumbles too.
Yeah, he's everywhere. Yeah. He's everywhere. It's cool to see like X Factors really stand out. Like they really can change your game.
You know? I'm kind of cool with that too. Like honestly, I mean, it's difficult when a dude's in the X Factor, but I think it's kind of realistic because in the real NFL, these dudes do change the outcome of games.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
I agree. Can I get you guys the game of the week thoughts? Game of the week is myself versus Bucks. I'm not going to comment. I just want to know what y'all.
Whoa! Wow.
Y'all opinions are.
That's going to be such a contrast of styles. Like, can you stop him from running, and can he stop you from passing? That's pretty much what it's going to be. Can he stop your aerial assault, and can you stop the ground and pound? Because it don't matter from what I've seen with the Bucks. it don't matter what running back he throw out there, he getting 200 plus.
That's what I said.
He getting 200 plus and leads multiple touchdowns. He was running with Jones. He got hurt. And then he was running with the other guy.
Yeah, Alex Collins.
Yeah. I know he was a free agency guy because when we started the season, he was in free agency and he was hurt, so he couldn't start right away. So he was just waiting for him to get healthy, and he came out and got 200 with him. So that's what I'm interested in to see. Can you bottle up the run? And then once you bottle up the run, can he, can he affect you with the pass? I know he got Mike Evans, so I know you're not dumb enough to press him. So
That's how I bait him. And that's how I bait him.
I'm gonna add something to this. From dealing with Bucks firsthand. Because he's been so dominant with the run, you don't really think of him in a pass capacity. But he runs a 4 wide receiver set similar to Tick, and it is a bitch to stop. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. If you do block the run and he goes to that 4 wide, it is hard as shit to cover up all them reads. So don't get lulled into a false insecurity with just thinking if you stop the run, you're good. Jameis Winston was leading the league in a lot of categories for a reason for a good part of the season.
Yeah. Would you stay disciplined? Would you stay disciplined with your user too?
Yes.
Man. Anything in my radius, bro. You already know I'm going to go get it.
I know. I know. I also know you're a little trigger happy at times too.
Yeah, for sure.
He is. But now I will say this: from multiples of years, and all of us here played Gates multiples of times. The Gates offense, passing wise, is a bitch to stop too. Yeah. Like it's and on top of that, I don't think Gates has ever had as devastating a combo as Fuller and Hopkins. So now, and a mobile quarterback with Watson that he's actually getting to throw accurate strikes with. So it's real simple. Gates is smart, right? Gates ain't gonna sit there and get hit stick 85 times, which is the Bucs' main staple. Trust me when I tell you, Gates is coming out of conservative, he's R1ing the hell out of some shit. Gates ain't gonna sit there like the majority of us and just keep eating fumbles. So, Boone, you couldn't be more right. It is such a Bill, R1 didn't work. I hear you, Bill. It didn't work for me either, but
conservative.
Yes.
And you're right. Gates' passing game is like what he just described with the corners with the star. It's like it's super aggressive. Like he gonna challenge you. He gonna challenge you underneath. He gonna take what you give him, but then he gonna challenge you like his favorite thing. He say, "I'm gonna test those safeties. I'm gonna see what them safeties can do."
Yeah.
So he gonna go up top. It's like super aggressive with that. So it's fun. I can't wait to see that one. I was hoping to see it tonight.
Yeah, he was pressing me. I needed to do the show.
You still cooking, huh?
You
still need some time to cook.
That night to look over some game film and run some shit.
Already know when guys are that anxious. Nah, you gotta cool them down. Candyman's like that. Yeah. Let's play the band. Like, nah, let me let you sit a day. I'll let you sit
Hey, you know what's funny? I'm glad we got Cletus on here. I'm gonna tell you why.
I'll let you sit a day.
Because sometimes it backfires. Because I know firsthand, and Cletus will tell you right now, he's on the call. Cletus is always answered to play that game because he just studied on the film. When you push Cletus off that one day and make him wait, that shit raises a venom and a vile in him to where it's like, not only do I know what you're gonna do, now I'm gonna try to stomp a mud hole in your shit, Steve Austin style, and walk it dry for making me wait. So it's kind of catch-22.
Listen, that's all right.
What's your thoughts on the game, please?
I mean, ultimately, I think what's going to come down to is, like, you and Boone said, can Gates stop the run? And, can Tampa, stop the pass? I think what's going to end up happening is I think there's going to be a lot of drops this game.
Yeah. I agree.
Just saying. So like I think there's going to be a lot of drops, and I think I think fumbles are going to be the change of the game.
Okay. Listen, I'm ready. I'm locked in. You know what I'm saying? I just
So hold on. Well, I'm gonna put you on the hot spot, Gates, like you would do us. But I realize you ain't gonna necessarily give your game plan away. But what do you think? Here's what I'm gonna say. What do you think are the keys to your success in getting a W in that game?
I got to force him to pass. I can't let him run 200 yards on me, man. It'll be a long day. You know what I'm saying? That's too much being on the field defensively. So for him to pass, if he does go in a 4 wide side, my eyes get big. Like, oh, you ready to call 4 these receivers out here? I'm hoping. You know what I'm saying? Justin, you hungry. I'm trying to catch Cashman. Cashman got 13 interceptions. I'm trying to get.
Hey,
For me,
man, I told Cleveland. He told me at the beginning of the season, Gates, you was trying to get Cashman off him because that was around the same time you were for Lorenzo Carter. And it's funny because when I played Cleveland, we don't know how linebackers don't get the same animations. So I said, I'm going to test Cashman. Man, I threw it to Evan Ingram. Cashman was in his back pocket, had his hand in Evan Ingram's back pocket, and that shit got picked. And I said, I ain't doing that shit no more, bro. It's like boom. When he used to have Deion Jones, well, even now, the Boone's found his stride with that linebacker. You test him and you see what it is, and you're like, hey, man, no more. No more.
That's when my eyes get big. Like, oh, he threw it.
So, Ty, to be honest with me, I think really the roles might reverse this game, right? Because we expecting each other to do certain things. I think he really might come out and pass heavy, and I might surprise him run heavy. I don't know. It just really depends. And then can I take these hit sticks? Like if I come out first quarter and he hit me fumble, yeah, I might go conservative. But I'm not going to I don't know if I go conservative instantly in the game or whatever. I guess I'll just let see how the game feels, and then I'll go from there. I'll just adjust from there. Hopefully,
brother, I'm starting off conservative. The man that done it as long as I've known him. He does it every game. I don't need to have one of them cost me to let me change it.
Yeah,
I don't need the extra yard that bad. I'll take my time to eat clock, and I'm starting out conservative. You better than me, brother.
I got you. I understand. We'll see. It'll be interesting. I know he's fired up. He's ready to go. He's been sending me eyes messages and emails all day. You let that marinate. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. I gotta do a show tonight.
So here's another fun round robin question then. The one person or team you guys haven't played this season that you would like to play to see how you stack up. Gates, will start with you. Somebody you haven't played that you want to be like, I want to play that person. I want to see what they working with. Or that team.
I mean, I played Kennedy. I played the Falcons. I played the Chiefs. I'll probably see Cletus in the playoffs. Or Don Joe, right? Probably the 49ers, man. No, you know who I really want to see? The Rams. John the Bullet. I want to see what the kid got. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of people I want to see, honestly. Just a competitor to me. But if I would say, I would have to say Cletus, man, because he was my Achilles heel all 19.
Look at that.
So heartbreaking to get to 5 consecutive AFC championships and then just watch him march on to the Super Bowl and hoist up the trophy. So that's my measuring stick to get over that hump. So
Cletus J.
For me, it all depends if I make it there, but I'd really like to play Candy, just for a simple fact that I'm kind of curious if I'd be able to stop that run with the defense I currently have. And then if I were to look on the NFC side, it'd be Tick. Because like Boone said about me, Tick was my Achilles heel, last year in Madden 19.
Don Joe chimed in that he wants a piece of Boone. It's still up there, Boone in big letters. And I know why, because y'all go back to the rivalry being in division. I'm with Cletus. I have a top 10 D again this year, even though my team is not super great. I always take pride in stopping or slowing down the run. I would like to play Candy just because I want to see what would happen with Melvin Gordon against me. I don't necessarily have the talent across the board, but I employ pretty solid schemes. I'm not saying I can shut him down and stop him, but I think I can slow him down. So I would like that challenge of dealing with that line and dealing with that running back.
Okay. On the flip side, who you guys don't want to see right now with the current roster you're doing that?
Well, shit, I could say it's 32 people to lead. There's probably about 25 people I don't want to see right now. But I mean, for me, the one game this year to where I felt like, man, I had no answers. So I would say that person was Tick. I didn't get blown out. I wasn't embarrassed. But I think there's certain times where when you're playing somebody, like, I can't do nothing with this person. I couldn't get heat on them. I couldn't stop all the multiple routes going out. On defense, it looked like you can beat him on defense, but you really couldn't. Like, it looked like shit was open, but it wasn't open. And his dude, he plays on them safeties with Darnell Savage, and that dude was flying all over the field. And I'm like, shit, like, my line ain't the best to start with. So, like, the one person I played so far this year where I feel like I really didn't have any answers was Tig.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't really think of anybody that I don't want to play. Like, I want to, even with my current team, like, once I got my first 4 games, I was in the slump trying to, get the game movements back down again. After I got that, after I didn't got my movement, I got my user in order. Like, I'm ready to see, play everybody. You know what I mean? So there ain't really nobody that, with the way it's stacked up. That
I think you have your toughest game this week.
Say what?
I think you have your toughest matchup game this week.
Speed wise, yeah, because I don't think I match up speed wise on defense. So we'll see. That's one of the games where I just hope Mac for real go off and just wreck everything. Because this game, I don't want to give him no time to sit back there to get that deep throw off. You know what I mean? So he gonna have to come forward and to do that. So I don't know. I like my squad. I don't like Mitchell Trubisky, but I'm getting the feel for him. I got to baby him too much.
Yeah.
I got to baby him too much. I got to run that. I got to run that Georgia Tech offense with him.
Right. What about you, Cletus? Anybody you think?
I mean, me personally, you already know who I'd like to have a rematch with. Because he beat me twice this season. Yeah. But like ultimately, we're all competitors, and when it comes down to it, I don't think anybody really dreads per se. Who they match up every week.
Yeah. I have no interest in playing Wyatt, man. To be honest, I don't feel like chasing Metcalf all day. You know what I'm saying? Worry about Chubb and his armbar. I just ain't ready for that this season. So I'll see him next year.
Right? Hey, Cletus, let me ask you, because I think you're the only person of us that played the Browns. Now, we know potentially what that talent looks like on paper. How is it on the field, like guarding Metcalf. Granted, I know you injured Odell and Chubb, but like before they got injured, they was in the game. Like, how was it having to guard all those different options and then worry about maybe Baker scrambling and or throwing a deep one? How was that?
Well, I mean, playing Paya, we all know how Paya plays. Paya's going to force feed to his playmakers every single play. So I mean, you play the use over there, you're solid. But like I'm saying, like it's hard to really like say how difficult they were or whatnot, just for a simple fact. Keep in mind, we went from all pro to all Madden in week 2. And week 2 is when I went and played Paya. And me personally, I think all Madden plays totally different than all pro when you play, what do you call, not competitive mode, but sim or well, whatever mode we're currently in.
Sim.
Yeah. Hey, let me interject right there with something. I talk about this with Boone a lot, and I haven't played a ton of games. I played the league games. UG's about to kick off. I played about 4 or 5 online ranked. What do you see as the big difference between all Madden and all pro? Because it's been so subtle for me, I can't really call it. What do you see?
For me, it's the speed, the game speed of like the blitzes and essentially the type of heat that they're able to get immediately in their face. Some people might say that like they're running YouTube blitzes or whatever the hell you want to call it, but like to me, I felt like the heat was always in my face every single play, every single down on its own offense. That was the only big difference that I could notice when I played the Browns. And it's not necessarily that was what do you call all Madden or all pro type issue, because again we only played one game all pro and then made that jump to all Madden immediately.
For me, it was the speed threshold. Like guys who were faster by 5 or 6 points were still running stride for stride on all that, which I didn't understand. Versus all pro, like Tyreek Hill is way faster than everybody else, as he should be.
Well, and you're right, because I was watching a game Problem was playing the other day, and he had Patrick Willis run 60 yards downfield and stay step for step with Tyreek Hill. And I'm like, how in the hell does that happen? Patrick Willis is a bad man, but he should not be step for step in defending passes against Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
I don't know what mode they play competitively on for the pro gamers, but what mode are they playing on?
They're playing all Madden competitive.
Okay, well then it goes back to prove what Cleveland said about the speed threshold in, because there's no way Patrick Willis should be standing with Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. But that's how they make it. So that's the biggest thing I've noticed. And then sometimes guys don't switch on to the person to make the play. They allow the computer to do it. All Madden. Like where in all pro was like, somebody throw the ball, we most likely click on it to make the user pick. These guys don't. They'll stay on like a defensive line or something and let the computer make the play for them like that. So those are the 2 things I noticed.
Hey Gates, did you see Corey's comment? Bugs?
Yeah, he's about bringing out the passing.
Whole day the game plan extra. He said prepare for Ed Cornell, brother. See, but now if I'm you, I'm thinking, is that baited me into thinking he's gonna do that so that he can run on me all game? So
my plan is the same as it's been at all the games this year. Stop the run and force people to pass. And that's been my game plan. Ain't no secret. If you look at it, everybody I played, I've shut down the run. I did, close it up, and forcing the pass. That's it. I ain't switching nothing up. I'm trying to get to the Super Bowl, man. I told you these first 17 weeks are for placement. Only 4 games matter to me. Playoff games, not Super Bowl game.
So I got another round robin question, and I'm gonna start with Boone. As we've went through this first season, what tactic or strategy have you employed that you felt when you employed it, it changed your game for the better? Well, I'll start first just to give you an example of what I'm talking about. And Boone actually told me this. I got this from Boone. Like for the last 2 or 3 Maddens, no matter what play I did, I always played for the pass, and it's been effective. And I felt early in the beginning of the year, I was all right in defense, but I felt like I wasn't as dominant on stuff in the run. And Boone was telling me, hey, man, like I don't play for the pass. And when I thought about that, I tried it, and I noticed I had a much better result in containing the run as opposed to always playing for the pass. So to me, that tip that Boone gave me, whether he knew it was a tip he was giving me or not, it changed my run defense and got me back to where I'm stuffing the run because I just felt like I was at a disadvantage playing for the pass because everybody was dropping back. And then with all the stretches and everything and tosses people are running, like it's set up there blocking. So that's the one tip for me so far early in season 1 that's really helped change my game. So based off that example, Boone, what tip would you say you've employed or you heard or you've seen that's kind of really helped you solidify your game?
First thing was me with Khalil Mack, like with the X Factor, seeing how effective he was and like playing in the lobby and stuff like that. I got real caught up on trying to get him free and trying to get him to the quarterback. And early on, it kind of changed the way I was calling my defenses because when I play defense, I don't really play necessarily to get pressure. I play like Gates say, try to bottle up the run, force you to pass, and if I force you to pass into my coverage, then you playing into my hand. You playing into with my user. So once I got that out of my head of trying to constantly trying to cook up like blitzes to get him home, and I just started just calling my defense the way I normally like it's really just started to happen organically. Like Matt got the quietest 19 and a half sacks ever. Like he just slowly after I started doing that, just started picking them up. And then really too getting more familiar with the usual, like you said, you don't get the animations like you used to. So getting the movements down, understanding my time and where I need to be on the field to affect it. Like before, like the first 4 games, first 5 games, I'll be like right there, but I'm right outside of the threshold where like I'm getting the animation, but you can see on the bottom it say like out of reach or just out of reach or something
That's
like that.
the worst animation ever when the ball's being thrown and you think and you go to raise your hands, but nothing happens. It says out of reach. And I'm like, son of a.
Yeah. So just discipline myself, like, when I'm doing it, just to make sure I get close. I can't really shadow it like I was doing in the past. Like I actually got to actually cover somebody. So that's one of the things. And then on offense, I'll take the same thing. Gates helped me with offense because my line would not block for anything. And he's like, yo, man, they can't block. Why you keep putting them in situations where they got to block? So just kind of just shorten it up, trying not to, trying to hit the deep route so much because it takes so long to develop. And then with Trubisky, he got such a crazy long windup. And then it just kind of floats. Like it looks like he's going to get there.
Yeah.
Then the next thing you know, it just kind of just dies at the end. So just had to shorten it up, keep it short and sweet, nice and sweet with the
I gotta mess with Gates. Hey, I'm the one that told you that, Boone. Gates might have told you that too, but I'm the one that told you, hey, bro, it's like me with the Giants. I know them dudes can't block, so I just shorten up my game. I don't even try to win that spot no more. I just don't throw it quick. But that's me just teasing Gates. Cletus, what would you say tactic-wise you had to learn in season 1 or realize it, but once you had that light bulb moment and the light bulb went off, it kind of changed your trajectory in a positive way?
I mean, honestly, in my personal opinion, it was opening up the run game. Like when I first started the season off, I want to say like I started off probably, maybe like in between 10 to 15 in the ranking when it comes to the run game. And then all of a sudden I started mixing in the run game with the passing and just a nice, healthy balance between the two. I was able to begin to pick up, some more momentum. And then when it comes to defense wise, like typically, I'd say I'm more the type that plays for the pass or hope that you play or hope that you end up passing, because with Cashman, the kid's phenomenal to use her. And like just get a healthy mix of blitzing and playing zone. Like my team currently isn't good enough to play man coverage, in my personal opinion. So to try to stay, try to develop a healthy balance, on defense, just like I did on offense.
What about you, Gids?
For me, it's kind of opposite of Boone's, right? Like I learned to play to my best of the abilities, other X factors, right? And what I mean by that is like Watson, he can throw accurate passes on the run, and Hopkins has his post delete ability, and I actually built up Will Fuller. He has it, so it's like, yo, if that's what they're great at doing, why not do that? You know what I'm saying? Why not keep Hopkins on the post play? And when I throw the ball, just run a little bit with Watson. If he's going to throw bullet passes all the time, you know what I'm saying? If Clowney, Clowney can't cover, like I learned, he can't cover. So why am I dropping him back? Every down, he's headed forward. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned just to play with my team's best of their abilities, whether it be offensive, defense, and understanding that this Madden is a run-first Madden. However, I haven't really established the run game, but I know that seeing how people play, everybody's run first. So learning how to slow that down really helped my game. Because I know at first, man, everybody was struggling stopping the run, or just defense, period, because everybody was putting up all these points. Now that's starting to slow down. So changing them two things.
I will say this. Something you said, that's the second thing. Since everybody kind of gave 2 or 3, I talked about not playing for pass. The other thing on defense, it's funny, me and Boone literally talked about this today, is playing within the confines of my team. So as a Giant fan, and traditionally having the Giants, I've always been fortunate to have dominant defensive lines, Olivier Vernon, Snacks Harrison, Jason Pierre-Paul, etc. But for the first time ever, I don't have that. So because I don't have a good enough secondary to hold up exactly what Cletus said, I really can't play a lot of man with the corners I have. I got to play zone. Zone is kind of broken, but I can't leave them dudes out there, so I got to get pressure. So one of the things that I was talking with Boone about is I've started heavily relying on bringing pressure from my secondary. Super fast corners off the edge and off the sides because I can't get it off the D-line. So learning how to play with what I have has kind of really helped me. I haven't had super great results, but I've been able to play good defense at least, which allows me to kind of stay close enough in the game to challenge, because I'm kind of trying to play to what I have as opposed to just saying, well, I'm a down lineman dude, we're going to do this, and that's what it is. I don't have those dudes. So I agree with what you said right there.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I got crazy receivers. Why should I be playing football? I mean, Boone has a lightning and thunder type of situation. he's running the ball. He's doing a little mix of everything. Le'Veon Bell, when he went down, he switched his whole game up, made a trade and everything. You know, people are playing into their team, which seems to be interesting. I do have a question, like, especially for you, Cletus. Like, you did lose to the Patriots twice, and Ty, I mean, you spoke about it before. Is Strong still going to be that same guy when Brady goes? Or will we see a different version of him?
Oh, it's guaranteed. Strong's, going to fall off when Brady's gone. Like, it's consistent, Every time Brady retires, Strong has a really hard time adapting because he doesn't have that QB that has all the tricks and trades.
Okay. Boom. Let me see. For you, is this Tip's last run of that division? Like, even though as he finds himself and gets his 8-play scheme together, do you think this is still his division, or every year is going to be up for grabs? Because all you guys are pretty much the same in record.
I think, man, I don't even know if it's gonna be anybody's. I think it's gonna be up to grabs. Whoever plays well until we get like a dominant hold on there. I see everybody in my division is playing real well. We all got similar records. So maybe one of us will set ourselves apart. Years to come. But until that, I mean, I think it's gonna be close until until somebody establishes themselves, get their team where they want. I know I don't have all the pieces, but I'm pretty sure the other teams can say the same thing, that they don't have all the pieces they need. First year we pretty much run and stop with the team. So it'll be interesting going forward, how everybody shake out. Like, for me, myself, I know I'll be doing better going forward because, ever since starting 0-4, I've been 8-2 since. So I feel like I got my legs up under me now.
Okay. Ty, is this Truck's last division win? Like, what I mean by that, are we gonna see old Moondog? Are we gonna see this Moondog?
It's hard to say.
Is Mo really gonna show up? I mean, because you're gonna show up. It's only a matter of time. What are these other guys gonna do?
And I feel like Mo's going to get better in rebound. His team is too talented, and he plays pretty solid. I like what Truck's doing. It's not super flashy, but it's solid and it's effective. So he's not going away. And I think Moondog's onto something. And Moondog's got a lot of talent. So I kind of feel like Boone, in terms of at least for season 2, is still up in the air because just talking about me personally, there's no guarantee in free agency there's going to be any game changers out there. And if there is, I still got to bid on them. So it's no guarantee that I can load up my entire team in free agency. My first round pick is not super high. It's not a top 5 pick. I'm probably in that 7 to 10 hole. So between that and free agency, I don't know how many playmakers that gives me. On top of that, Daniel Jones just hit a 70. He's throwing better now that he actually got out of the 60s, but who knows? So I'm like Boone. I think the NFC East next year is still going to be up for grabs. I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing and build and try to do the best I can. Now, what about you in the AFC South and in the AFC period? Do you feel like now that you've hit a good groove, do you feel like your team's complete? Are you happy with what you have? Do you feel there's more to come? Do you feel like there's some things you still need to do? Do you feel like you're really clear cut in a position to make that super duper run?
I feel like I still need the offensive line. Other than that, I mean, I don't know if the Jags is how focused he is. I beat him once. We split. Set the tone and Trick. I just played the Trick, the Titans the first time. I beat him 44-0. Set the tone. I beat twice. I don't know. They're gonna have to put some work in, man. I feel like that's my division until Jags figure it out. or until they figure it out. My concern is going to be the Jets. It's going to be the Chiefs, the Chargers, and then if Pie is going to get it together. And so, same top tier guys. But, those are my concerns in the AFC. Cletus is looking impressive. It's only year one where he normally jumps out year three. So my goal really is to get to the AFC Championship. To be honest, I text Candy after he beat me. And what was that, week 2 or 3? I said, I see you in the AFC Championship game. And then Rico beat me. I told him, I want my win back in the Super Bowl. That's all I've been really focused on. For real. That's no disrespect to anybody in the AFC. That's just my mindset. I need my wins back. I need my losses back.
I got you. Boone and Cletus, are there any questions like you guys want to ask to everybody? Me and Gates been narrating. What about you guys?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Okay, Marshawn.
No, I don't really have anything. I just know personally for me, I think the group of guys we got this Madden is probably some of the better competition we didn't have. We got a lot of different new guys coming in here making a statement, and so I guess that'd be my question. Do everybody feel the same? Do we feel like the competition has getting better? Do we have some new guys now that was going to challenge some of the top tier guys that's been at the top for the Maddens prior? You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I want to see.
I feel like I'm impressed with the Bucks. C-Dub, he doesn't really have it figured out. I know he said he's still trying to work it out. But he's been looking impressive. He has potential. And like you said, Ty, I didn't know the Rams kid, John the Bullet. He's super impressive. You know what I'm saying? I know you said that the Chiefs have been around for a while, but I don't remember him putting in work. He's putting in work.
Well, and you know what's interesting on top of that? I so agree with everything Boone said. Because eventually I'm going to get my footing. Drew's going to get his footing. Pye's going to be consistent. Mo's going to come around. So Carolina, the Panthers, they're going to step up. Bill's going to catch his footing. Bill's inconsistent, but Bill will come out and drop that really good season on you too. So there's, in addition to the good guys that we have, Jags is better than his record is, right? Yeah. Say what you want about Jags, Ramsey 904, a.k.a. Side Squad. He's going to come around. Primetime's going to get better. Kurt's not playing his best football. So there's still about 6 or 7 teams outside the bubble that we're normally used to playing. Set the tone. Set the tone is not a 4-10 team. So at the end of the day, there's about a good 7 to 8 teams that's not playing up to their potential yet, in addition to the new guys. So I agree with Boone. What a great mix we have right now. I think it's going to be really good. I thought this first season was great. I really think it's going to be some tough competition. And for once, I'm going to have to quote Gates' line. Because before I felt, hey, man, as long as I get a wild card spot, I'm in there. But with the mix we have now, with everybody continuing to get better, Boone, you're on fire now. Tex got his foot in. It's almost to a point where I feel like the best thing you can do is just win your division. Because if you're going to count on a wild card, you might have a tough time. You see to win your division. To quote Gates, from now on, period.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Don Joe is looking impressive, and that team is really well put together. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
that's my focus.
I'm with you, because it used to be like, if I win the division, cool, but I just need to just make the playoffs. But now I'm like, so many different teams, like better teams, like, hey, that wild card ain't gonna, necessarily be it. Hey, I gotta focus on getting my division.
Think about that bye. Chiefs has been, and Cletus opened this up by saying it, and it's true, that dude's gonna be the 5th seed, as great as he's been all season. Like, you really need to win your division. This mattered more than any other division. I mean, any other year.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, it's almost guaranteed, unless people step up, you're and I'm just speaking from the AFC side, it's almost one of them situations where if the South, like the people below Gates don't step up, and then the North, it's almost guaranteed there's going to be 2 teams from the East and 2 teams from the West.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Don's one hell of a player, and like I give him mad props for like what he can do on the run game. And that defense is nasty. The last two times I went and played Don, I barely came away with the W. Like the game was a lot closer than what it actually was.
Yeah. I feel bad for the Bills, man. Because he's 2-12, but you're 13-2. Strong is 9-6 or something like that, and Don Jones 9-6 or 9. Patriots 9-4-1, and Dolphins 9-5. That's a crazy. Where I used to get on you like your division is soft, not you, it's your division. Now we can't say that.
Hey man, no, you're right. Well, a good example of that is Trick Kanasana. The dude did the Titans, T. Will. He's a lot better than what he's showing. Like, there's just so many weird outliers going on right now. Like, a lot of the dominant players are playing to their potential, but a lot of the dominant players are not. So it's like if you've already got this high level of competition in season 1, when all these sleeper cells start getting activated, it's like, oh my God, like you really are going to need to win 12 games a season to secure a spot and really try to win your division. I'm looking at John. Top 6 seeds, y'all named earlier. Y'all left out the division 1 Redskins, which kicks me or the Bears out. Now we didn't leave the Redskins out. Cletus slotted the Redskins.
Yeah. He'll be there. What my question is though, what truck do we get? Like truck started off on fire. Right? He started up on fire and he was trash talking and kept his fire going. And then, then he just went into a slump. I mean, he's still winning games, but he wasn't as high powered as he first was when he jumped out early in the season.
But you know what I like about Truck's game? And it's the same thing I used to always love about Boone's game. And it's kind of the same thing I love about Cletus's game. Like, my game, Gates, or your game, when we're clicking at a raw high level with our passing game, it looks pretty. But I feel Boone, Cletus, Truck, that style they play, that wins championships. It may not be super flashy. They're going to lead with the run. They're going to keep the chains moving. They're going to pass when they need to. It's going to be timely. They're going to get first downs. They're going to shoot clock, and they're going to play super solid defense behind it. And to me, that formula will always win. It's never going to get outdated. So the thing about Truck is it may not look super flashy what he's doing, but he uses 3 different running backs. He uses Geis, which he upgraded to superstar. He uses Peterson. He uses Chris Thompson. And his passing game may not look super flashy, but it keeps the chains moving and allows him to keep interchanging those 3 running backs. In addition to that, he rotates out Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins. So it's kind of one of those things to where it's like it may not look like much on tape, but when you're in the game or you're playing against it, and his defense has gotten better. It's like, shit, like I can't – that's like what we said about Bill being that cockroach you can't step on and pull away from sometimes. He just hangs around, and you can find yourself in a bad situation if you don't pull away.
Mark. That's it's different. We all know. We all been there. We all Super Bowl winners. It's different in the playoffs, man. It's not, possessions get shorter. Mistakes cost way more than they do in the regular season. So we interesting. I have multiple guys here. 2 other people. I think we might as well get into it now. Some of the people's favorite part of the show. Get it together, list. Boom. Who you put on the get it together list? Let's start with you.
Moondog, because he won't give me my Cowboys, so get it together.
There's a couple Cowboys fans who are upset that Moondog's not winning how he should be.
I understand that. It's more than one of us, but I got some seniority, so I need to make my way over there at some point. So, Moondog, if you ever get tired, you ever get life get too busy for you to pick up the sticks anymore, just let me know, man. Let me know. I'll PayPal you something too. Just DM me.
Cletus, who you got?
I mean, like even though he's going to end up winning the division, I would say Paya. And the reason why I say Paya is Paya, like I give Paya like so much credit when it comes to his user. Like he has a dominant user. And to be 8-6-1, like it's kind of disappointing in a way, just because, you know, from being that powerhouse over in the NFC as Green Bay last year to being the souped up Browns and being the 8-6-1, like I don't know how excited you get about, you know, that style of a record.
He started off on 4 too, though. So just to give him
Yeah, he did.
a little bit of props. I mean, he turned it around.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe it's one of those things where just getting used to it. Injury bug hit him pretty early, so just buying this time until his guys came back. But
Yeah, and to me,
really, you're right.
but
I mean, he got a scooped up team, though. You're right. I mean, he got everything for him on that team. Young defense, young offense, flashy players, X factors, arm bars. Like, I'm surprised Chubb ain't got a broken arm. I mean, the arm bars I would have been using.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, man, in his defense, you know, I played in the NFC. This is my first time playing in the AFC in the USFL. It's different over here. It's different in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to the ground and pounding in the NFC, like I see now. In the AFC, man, they chucking this thing all the time, man. It's like, you know, if it's not that, it's these blitzes. It's like people, you know, I'm used to, like, it's, you know, like how Ty does it, like this. All right, Ty does it like, he'll, like you say, Ty, you're sending the cornerbacks, right? A lot of people will send the linebackers. But over here in the AFC, it's cornerbacks, it's slots, it's safeties. They coming from everywhere, yo. It took me a little minute to get adjusted over here. I'm like, it's just a different style of play over here. I know it took me some time to get adjusted. Maybe it's taking him some time to get adjusted. Not to give him an excuse, but I know for me, it's different over in the AFC.
yeah, but I mean, where I'm going with it is, you know, it's kind of like one of those conversations that, you know, we had last year, you know, about in the East, I need the competition. Well, when it was in the North, in the NFC, he really didn't have any competition.
Yeah.
He showed enough ran, though. I'm going to call him out on it. He ran.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, he did run.
Yeah, he booked out of Dodge when I came over.
Ty, you got anybody on the get together list?
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told you last year. It's hard for me in my situation or my record this year to call somebody else outside. I just won't, because if I live in a glass house, I can't throw stones. I don't care what the reason is, what the excuse is. So I'm gonna put myself on it. Although, like I've told you and I've told Boone and I've told Cletus, considering that I knew it was going to be a rough season and my goal was just to develop my team, to take a 70 overall team and now have a 74, to take a 66 overall quarterback and have him at a 70, I did what I want to do in this first season, and that's get my guys reps and experience. Saquon Barkley is the one certified weapon I have. He's got 1,100 yards rushing, 300 yards receiving. He's got 14 total touchdowns, so I got what I can get out of him. Evan Ingram has 1,000 yards receiving. The weapons I do have, I use them to the best of my ability. So, irregardless of talent or anything else, I'm gonna I'm gonna put myself on it. Because there's two different types to get it together. There's get it together because somebody just unexplainably is not good and there's no reason why. And then there's get it together because the expectations of that person are up here and they're performing here. And I feel like I fall in that second category. Like, because it's me, people typically tend to expect a high level of performance. So when I'm not there, nobody cares what the reason is. I'm just not where I need to be. So I can accept being on the list and I'm going to put myself there.
Okay. For me, I'm going to talk about the Cardinals, man. Drew. I knew he falls in that category, Tyree said. I'm expecting him to be performing here. You know what I'm saying? I know he has a lot of real life things going on, but I said that the very, very first show. As I was teasing Cletus too, like when love hits, Madden becomes a little different. You know what I'm saying? and I feel like that's where Drew is at right now. I know he got a lot of things going on. In real life, he's trying to juggle this Cardinals team. You know, get it together, man. Let me know, you know. I want to pick you some weeks, but I'm nervous. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it.
He on a nice little winning streak lately.
Yeah.
And his daughter was just born on Friday too, last Friday. So
tell him congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so my niece, so she here, so he getting back in the swing of things now. So
now, Boone, you know,
he's one of those things too, not figuring out, you know, not knowing what he had in his team. I think he's starting to understand what he had and what he need to do now.
Nah, he needs to stop that. Like, I guess draft picks. Like, just go ahead, call his season, move on. You know, no need to win any more games. Help me, help you. And then John the Bullet. Like, here's a little tip for you, man. You said your triangle button don't work. Like, one of the things that I do every single year, you know, just because they're typically marked down, every year there's always a sale. Always keep one packed. Always keep one packed on the ready, you know?
Yeah, I understand. Cool. I get you guys pick of the playoffs. All right, who are you rooting for outside of yourselves? Well, you know, Cletus and Boone, if you make it, and myself. Who are you championing for in the playoffs? Well, let's do it like this. Pick the other side of the ball. That way, you know, you won't, you know, do the conflict of interest. Ty, you go first. You know, give me who you like in the AFC and the NFC.
The AFC, based off what I've seen so far and what I know of the players, you guys know I've been Cletus' champion for the longest about him being the GOAT. But I also know that Cletus has some injuries, and I also know that Cletus is working a miracle with what he has. To me, Candy's the favorite in the AFC. You're right there, Gates. Cletus and Don Joe are there just because of the caliber of play you are. But with the scheme he has and what he's doing and how he does it and how hard it is to stop his run game, I've got to say Candy's the favorite in the AFC. And in the NFC, because of what we talked about earlier with Rico kind of stumbling a little bit into it, John the Bullet not being his consistent almost self, to me it comes down, I would say Tick and Dre are the two, but there are definitely the Boones of the world and stuff that's right there. I just think that Dre is doing what Dre does low key, and I think Tick's hitting his stride, and I think Boone is too. I think the only thing that may hurt Boone, like he said earlier, is, you know, he needs help from other people right now, because right now he's playing as good a level of football as anybody else. But if it's too little too late, you know, that's one thing. So I would say Tick and Dre in the NFC, and I think somebody's got to jump up and prove they can beat Candy. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna make my pick. Then I gotta get off first. When I make my pick, I'm just gonna say I kind of agree with you, Ty. I think it's gonna be a California Super Bowl. gonna be the Chargers, and it's gonna be the Niners.
Yeah.
California Super Bowl. That's what it's gonna be. That's what I think.
So, Candyman's my nemesis. The man is.
It's your nemesis.
Yeah, Candyman. We go way back, PS3, yeah. But we didn't have Vader. He's playing great. And Dre's the most consistent. Rico's my guy in ATL, but Dre's the most consistent. Cletus, it's year one, bro. I usually hold you accountable year 3. So these first 2,
Right.
I'll say these first 2, if you win them, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? But I always count you from 3 on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is Cletus doing from year 3 on? Same thing with you, Ty. Like, these first 2 years, like y'all sparring seasons. It's like from 3 on. When I know y'all turning it on for real, that's when I start holding you guys accountable. I see.
All right, fellas, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Good luck the rest of the season.
Definitely.
Ty, we'll see you. I know you don't make the playoffs, but I know you salivating for that free agency to see what that look like.
Yeah. Everybody people y'all can't pay for, they'll go to good use. Trust me, y'all can go and drop them.
Yeah. Gates and Cletus, y'all clinched. I still got some work to do. At the very least, I'm not gonna finish with a losing record. So I keep that streak intact. I have not had a losing record in 3 Madden, so I can still hang that on my hat. So if I don't make the playoffs, I ain't have a losing record. So
listen, I told you
carry that on into season 2.
You did great, man. I just don't think Mike is the guy right now. Not for what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Trubisky, yeah, but hey, I didn't put a whole season into him now, so he ain't going nowhere. I'm stuck with it. He's gonna have to figure it out soon. All right, man, fellas.
All right, take care.
Yeah, man. So the California Super Bowl, yeah, that's a real pick, man. That's a real thing. Cletus, what you got?
I mean, I can't disagree about Dre. Like, he has a dominant run game, and if you try to stop the dominant run game, he goes over top with is it Goodwin?
Yeah.
I mean, his offense is dominant, and he knows when to call, what he needs to call. So, like, yeah, he's definitely a favorite, when it comes to the NFC. And then the AFC wise, like the competitor that I am, just like anybody else, I'd like to make it to the Super Bowl, but I don't think my team is where it needs to be to take that push. So in that aspect, I think it's very well possible, a Houston versus, Charger, AFC championship, which leads Candy into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's so tough, though. I mean, to get past, let's say, however, I got to get past Don Joe, right? Regardless of what his record is, he still has great user, good game plan. So then come right back to play you.
Yep. And
deal with that strategy. And then cook up something for Melvin Gordon and cook up something for Candy and his user. Like, that's 2 different game plans in a game. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like, each game of the playoffs on this side is like, how do I deal with this roster plus their individual user? That's tough.
Yep.
That's tough. I appreciate you put me up that far.
Well,
yeah.
I like what all you guys had to say because I actually agree. All of us kind of had the same thought. What Cletus said is exactly right. If Cletus had the team that he's used to playing with, I could never bet against Cletus. That being said, he doesn't have the team, and on top of that, he's got 2 key injuries. Gates, I definitely do see you, Lincoln Hector, and Candy in that mix. So it's definitely not a matter of Candy is clearly head and shoulders above you guys. I just think he's the hottest on the NFC side. And on the NFC side, I do want to add Bucks to the mix because I don't want to discredit or take lightly what he did. Rico and Bucks are still in that mix. I just feel ultimately on the NFC side, Dre is super consistent. He's been consistent for multiple years now. He's always there. His scheme is sound. He's not necessarily going to beat himself, and that always makes him a threat and ticks rounded in the shape. I think something we've always said, Gates, holds true with Bucks in terms of, we've been giving him a lot of play and a lot of props, but there's still a lot of people that may not know what he brings to the table, which makes him a super threat because he can sneak up on you if you ain't prepared for what he brings. It's just going to be great football, period.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Before we get out of here, last play of the game. We're at the hour and 40 mark tonight. We did pretty well. Normally it's 2 hours. We did pretty well. Any final words, please?
I mean, it's going to be interesting how the playoffs play out. Like, I think the AFC is already pretty much set, with the exception of if Candy loses to Kansas City in Week 17, then you'll have a matchup swap. But for the most part, the AFC is set, so it's going to be real interesting how these next 2 weeks play a part for the NFC side.
Okay. Is there any way somebody can take the number 2 spot? Like, because Candy has what? 1 loss, right?
Yeah, Candy has 1 loss to Kansas City. Kansas City has 2 losses. And then I have 2 losses. But my next game is against Crack. No offense, Crack.
Right, Don Jackson, he's going to win it all. Listen, I'm impressed, bro. If you already making the playoffs is impressive with that team for me.
Hey, you want to know something? And I've always felt this way. Any single body, I don't care who you are, that makes the playoffs is a threat because the league is not soft. So anybody, and I felt this way for multiples of Madden, that makes the playoffs, Don Joe, I don't care who it is, anybody that makes the playoffs is a threat. It's proven. It's a fact. They're not there for decoration. They're there for their gameplay, for their reasons, and they can make a run. Period.
Yeah. A lot of times, the 1 seed don't make it to the Super Bowl. A lot of times, you like a wild card team or the number 3 or number 2 team. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I've never won nothing as a 1 or 2 seed. Whenever I've won a bowl or win, I was always a wild card.
Yeah.
So anybody that makes it, he has that in him. Period. You don't luck up into that spot.
Yeah. Any last words?
No, I don't have any last words. I think it was a pretty tame show. It was a good show. It was great to have 2 different guests, and both Cletus and Boone, to have a wealth of knowledge and experience in the league, speak their opinion. But I think we pretty much touched on every single thing: gameplay, strategy, playoffs, current seeding, get it together. We touched on everything, so I'm good, man. Just enjoyed the show.
Yeah, real quick, Don. If we lose to Strong, he might not get in.
I love Don.
And John the Bullet says that he lost to all the playoff teams. John, that doesn't matter in the playoffs, though. You know what I'm saying? All of that is a chance for you to right them wrongs, for real. Especially you got a chance to
He thought the 2 most devastating X factors in the game were Aaron Donald and Gurley. It just takes getting hot, brother.
Yeah, that's it. It's really up for grabs.
Cooks, you know.
Yeah, it's really up for grabs. I think it was a great show, Cleese. I appreciate you jumping on here.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
I know you're quiet this time. Usually, I should have caught you after you lost to Strong. You're super talkative then. You know what I'm saying? But
this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I do got a last word, but I'm gonna make this super duper brief. And Gabe, I know you're gonna want to talk on this, but I'm going. Me and you had a conversation the other day that I really, really, really didn't agree with. So I'm gonna touch on it now, and it's not Madden related. And just hear me out.
Go ahead.
You've told me for 2 or 3 years now, because we've known each other a long time, that you refuse to watch football in support of Cap taking a knee. And I'm going to give you my true, real take on this.
Okay.
I respect anybody that's taking a stand for anything. So in this case, it's you. Where I totally disagree is I think because you haven't been watching football, you might not be up to date with all the facts. Let me tell you how I feel about the Kaepernick situation. You're not watching football. Number one, I agree with Jay-Z, like I told you in a private text. We're beyond it. It was cool to kneel 2 and 3 years ago. We're 3 years in. Okay? What's the next level or what's the next step? Okay? The kneeling was to get the attention. Ultimately, you need to take action. So that's number one. Number two, when I DM'd you that, you told me, yeah, but, Kaepernick's being blackballed. I disagree with that because Kaepernick's had 4 opportunities to join the league and get back into the league's good graces, but because he can't speak for himself like a man and he lets his woman speak for him and he's out of touch with his skill set and thinks he's a starting caliber quarterback, he's turned down these 4 opportunities. So before you jump on the bandwagon of the popular narrative of Black America that he's being blackballed, he's turned down 4 opportunities. So between him turning down 4 opportunities, him being out of touch with his skill set and not realizing that he's not that dude no more that he came into the league as, and 3, him not elevating the movement beyond past kneeling. The man hasn't been active. The man doesn't speak up. The man hasn't done anything else. I can't support your stance. So I don't want to launch a super long conversation, but I just want to tell you that's my last word about why I totally disagree with that take.
So for me, right, I did it because for him, he took a knee for unarmed Black people getting killed, right? Where I grew up, Ty, we're on the East Coast. Where I grew up, the things that happened to people who look like us, that was my everyday thing, right? I lost some friends to police being killed. So when he did that knee and him jeopardizing his career for that meant something to me personally. Like, yo, I appreciate that. So in support of that, like, regardless if he worked in the NFL or not, for me, that was just dope. Him being blackballed, he might have turned out 4 opportunities or whatever. But for me, America still hasn't changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just, like, somebody in my city just got killed not so long ago by police. So it's like, that's still happening.
The NFL didn't create that problem, though.
Say it again?
But the NFL didn't create that.
I agree. No, I agree. No, I agree. No, I totally agree.
Rallying against an institution that has nothing to do with his issue. If anything, the NFL stepped up and put up a lot of money. Like, the person who doesn't get credit, that should get credit, everybody's quick to ride on Colin Kaepernick. He ain't done shit. The person that's actually done something is Malcolm Jenkins, the president of the Players Association. And he's actually initiated a real change. Dudes like Kaepernick who don't say shit, and dudes like Eric Reed who run their mouth and don't put any action behind it, I don't pay that no attention. The dude who needs to be getting our respect and our credit is Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. You know what I'm saying? But just even in events of the things when he was doing the knee and the awareness it brought, how it was like, they try to make it about the popular narrative, trying to make it about the flag or whatever. And then, it wasn't nothing about that. And then it was like, again, like I don't know the opportunities that he had. I'm just saying what that knee meant for me in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And the shit's still happening. I don't expect the NFL to do that. But there was some owners who said some things like, yo, we can't let the prisoners run the yard. The owner, and everybody knows, man, the owners are the good old boys. And that's no offense to anybody that's who believes in that concept. But that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we just look at the NFL as an organization, it's no different than, than the slave trade for real, or any sports is like that. I mean, to me. So I just was chill. I just chilled on it for a minute. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
Madden is with the NFL, right?
Right. But I'm also an EA Sports shareholder though too.
Right. But my support, okay, but think about that stance. I'm not going to support the NFL for what it represents, but I'm going to support Madden, which is tied into the NFL, and be a shareholder on the board, which ultimately represents what I'm saying I'm standing against. Do you see the conflict of interest?
Now, this is the only football game that's around. If there was a competitive team, we can play that. Like, I don't have to play. You know what I'm saying? I just love the game of football. It could be NFL Street for real. I would play that.
Only game around. Why not come back to watching some games? What's different?
Because being an EA shareholder doesn't also just only support Madden. It supports Battlefield, which I also play. You know what I'm saying? Or a FIFA or something like that.
But spending your money to buy the game that's sanctioned by the NFL that they get a cut of, what's different than just watching the game?
I don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? I haven't answered that question to myself yet.
You know what? I respect that because you said you don't know, and I'm 100%.
I've had that conversation plenty of times. I've had that conversation plenty of times.
I respect that 100% because you wasn't hypocritical, so you got my respect right there with you.
For sure. I read about that all the time. Yeah, I love the game. I wanted to play the shit. Like I wanted to be in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So that's tough for me. It's been tough. I ain't gonna hold you. It's been tough. So.
And that's where because I don't want to keep us too long. You know, I wanted to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, that's always something to debate on. You know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with that. I mean, in a tough conversation, we should just have, regardless of our views are different, whatever. We should still be able to have those tough conversations.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, well, I appreciate you guys. You know what I'm saying? Spending, hanging out, doing this show. Guess we'll do the next one, and then I guess we'll see where we at. Playoffs should be started by then. Let me see. We got one last comment. He said, Curry said he can't say nothing about the law and took the money. He did settle with it. He settled, right? He got a nice check from Nike and the NFL, didn't he?
Yeah. Which to me
and Reed.
Yeah.
Right. So and don't even get me started on Eric Reed. For all that shit he talks, he ain't got no problem cashing an NFL paycheck. He ain't got no problem playing on that damn team right now because he wants to be employed. So, but that's a whole other story. We'll have a separate conversation. Another owner's box something to really delve into that. I enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that we got to touch on that. But it's getting late and we got smashed. I'm going to give me some Chinese food. And it's 9 o'clock over here. Panda Express closes at 10. Give me a little bowl real quick.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to jump off here, man. I'll give y'all a little bit. I appreciate y'all tuning in. On this box, please appreciate you being a guest, man. You're welcome back anytime. You know that.
Oh, no problem, and thank you.
Yeah, Cletus, thanks for coming on short notice, brother. Appreciate you, man. I know I called you ice cold.
Oh, no problem.
All right, cool. Well, on this box, Ty, myself, Cletus, for signing out here.
Y'all take it easy. Have a good night.
Peace.
Good luck to everybody in them offs.